everybody. I've had a number of people reach out to me, send me emails and say, hey, I'm kind of in a bind having to do with finances and everything. What do you suggest I do and everything? So I'm going to tell you, give you a couple tips on what it is that I would suggest doing, okay? Had a guy come to me, said, man, you're really good with money. You seem to do well. I need some help. I said, okay. So that's about 10 years ago. We sat down. We looked at his finances and everything. The guy wasn't living over the top or off the chain. He wasn't a baller. He wasn't, having an extravagant lifestyle, wasn't living off credit cards and everything. He just was not making enough money, okay? And so he was having to get some help from his parents every month. And, it was quite humbling for a grown man going through this, okay? He's like, dude, I don't want to do this, I want to stop. And I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you this, what would you do? Money was no object. What would you like to be doing? He said, man, I'd like to cook. And I said, okay. I said, do you want to open a restaurant? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, how many people would it seat? He said, I wouldn't have dine-in. It'd be carry-out only. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, okay. He said, man, it'd be like a cafeteria deli. You come in, food, different things and everything like that, kind of, 1 or 2 courses each night. And, people stop on the way home, pick some dinner up. Boom, there you have it. It's okay. I said, how much would something like that cost? Oh, man, it'd be about $100,000 to get set up and the cooler and this and that and everything like that. And I said, what if I told you could do that for about $150? What? That's impossible. I said, no, it's not. So what did we do? I said, look, man. I said, you can actually start cooking food out of your house, take orders from people, and deliver the meals to people. He was like, what? I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, you don't have to start out at the $100,000. I said, you can start out very small. I said, and then you can actually cook extra stuff and you can put it in a cooler to keep it warm. You ride around, and especially car lots, because car salesmen do not want to leave. And they're always looking for something as far as to snack on. And then the other thing is, the easiest sales to make are to another salesperson, okay? I said, man, you'll be golden. You're a great cook. It tastes good. You're going to make it. And sure enough, he started doing that. And he started making bank. So, there you have it. So then we get into the thing is, now you're making more money. What are you going to do with the money? And the thing about it is that success takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to have discipline, but you've also got to be consistent about it. Motivation will come and go. However, discipline is what's going to keep you doing it when you don't want to do it. And there's many days that I don't want to show up. I don't want to do the grind. I don't want to do the hustle. However, for me to get where I want to be at. Oh, wow, man, I'm okay. Whew, we had a technical difficulty. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. That was a close one. However, I'm okay. No workman's comp here or anything like that. We're still on the job. And see, here's the thing is every one of you all has the ability to be successful inside of you, okay? There's just a couple of things that's going to have to take place. One, you're going to have to be willing to let it happen, okay? A lot of people are like, what do you mean? I'm willing, you can just give me everything. Nah, it don't work like that. You're going to have to get out there and make it happen, okay? You're going to get out, you're going to have to work. The universe will reward the effort, okay? That's absolutely critical for you to remember, because if you expect it to drop in your lap, that's not going to happen, okay? So many people tell me and say, oh man, I'd really like for this, I'd really like for that, and everything like that. But They're not willing to get out there. You think it's going to happen on 40 hours a week? Hello? No. Negative. Ain't happening. Okay? Yeah, you're actually going to have to get out there. Oh, you might have to work a Saturday. Yes, you might have to work. Oh, you might have to work after work. Oh, yes, you might have to. Oh, 12, 14, 16 hours. Yes, yes, that's all very crucial and everything like that when you're starting out. It's not always going to be like that. Number two, you got to have a plan. You got to make that plan, put it into action, and then stick to it. Way too many times do people get out there and then it's like, well, I'm not seeing anything. Nothing's happening for me. I'm going to try something different. And it's like, okay, you never build up any steam. You never build up any momentum. You got to stay focused and stay in there. It's like being 5 seconds away from the miracle happening and then giving up. Okay? And the thing about it is that none of this stuff happens overnight. Okay? I don't care who it is, Damon John, Trump, Gates, Steve Jobs, Henry Ford, Rockefeller, Carnegie. None of those people made it overnight, okay? And here's the thing is that, I have people all the time who are, oh man, it must be nice, doing this and everything like that. Well, you know what? You come ride with me. You take your day out, you come ride with me and see how lucky I am, okay? Last person who rode with me, he was like, man, that motherfucker, he'd be working. He said, good Lord, he's earning every dime he's got and everything like that. That's the thing about it is that most people don't want to do what I do, okay? And I get it, all right? Ain't nothing more than nice as having armchair money. I assure you, I love them rent checks coming in every month, okay? But I'm not at the point where that's going to be getting me, that's part of my journey, but it's not all of it, so I have to do other stuff, okay? Third thing is, when you do get it, okay, you got to put it away. You got to invest it and get it to where it's turning more money. Back in '08, the building boom was going on. I think things were gangbusters from like '04 to '07, everybody was just making bank. You could have been a total idiot back then and become a millionaire without any problems, almost like it is right now. And what ended up happening is there was a whole bunch of contractors that I knew that looked like they were making huge money, okay? And what I found is that most contractors really don't have that much money. What they do have is big lines of credit, okay? And they have these, what we call interest-only lines of credit, where whatever they got out on the street, they're just paying interest payments on it. They're not paying any of the principal, okay? So it'd be like, they get a couple hundred G's, they build a house gets sold, boom, they're supposed to pay off that line of credit. Most of them don't, okay? A few do, all right? But then they go buy houses. They buy cars. They buy King Ranch diesel truck. They go buy Harleys, big screen TVs, Sea-Doos, jet skis, pontoon boats, big diesel pusher, motorhomes and stuff of that nature. And, and they pay cash for it. Why? Because they got a big line of credit. It's huge, okay? So, man, they're like living large, they're balling and everything like that, and all of a sudden, boom, the economy starts going down just like a jet fighter that's been hit by the enemy. And what ends up happening? People like you and me that got some cash, we come along and start buying them Harleys and trucks and big screen TVs for about 10 cents on the dollar. Why? Because they're broke. And the whole thing about it is that if you notice, the people that have been extremely wealthy, they took their money, kept it in action, okay, and reinvested it and had something that was going to start paying them money on a regular basis. It might be real estate. It could be a stock dividend. You might make loans to people, do mortgages or something of that nature. You might go and buy a business. I don't know what it's going to be for you, but you've got to do something because, You take that money and you set it in the bank, and it's only in there and paying you less than 1% right now. You'll be lucky if you could get a bank. You might be able to walk into a bank and be able to negotiate a rate, of 2%, 2 to 3% if you're going to make a couple $1 million deposit right off the bat. But otherwise, you're probably not going to get more than 1% for a savings account, And my God, how long is that going to take you to double your money? Man, So, you figure that, if you put $100,000 in the bank, you might get paid $1,000 in a year. That's absolutely crazy. Okay? So, that's the things that, you really need to think about is that I'm going to start making money. And then I'm going to start doing that on a regular basis. I'm going to be consistent with it. And then I'm going to put that money to work for me, because if you don't learn how to make money while you're sleeping, you will end up working for somebody else for the rest of your life. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. Have a good night.